Hi my little shardies, welcome and welcome back. I am still working on this Mysteria image, so I figured today's video would be how I do the leaves in this image. Since I did the skin tones here, I went ahead and added some darker colors to help make it pop just a little bit more. So I did add some 1095 black raspberry around the edge here, and then I went ahead and added 1029 mahogany red around the edge as well and blended into that, and then blended it back out. So you'll see in these darker areas here that I added those darker colors just to make it pop a little bit more. I'm not sure what I want to do about the hair right now, so that's why I'm moving on to the leaves. And I think the first color we're going to use here is going to be 913 Spring Green. And I'm going to start with the middle part here, and instead of going dark, I'm going to go light. So I'm going to add this spring green into these areas, and I'm going to put it around the outside here. And I feel like every single time that I use spring green that I use 912 apple green right along with it. So on this one, I'm just going to kind of go from that spring green line and pull it down toward the middle there. I feel like these colors really complement each other. The spring green with the apple green. So it's two of my go-to colors for leaves. And every time I do my leaves, I do them a little bit differently. I grab a couple different colors. I don't always do this color combination, but I usually have these two colors in my leaves. And now I'm going to take some 109 Prussian green, and I'm going to go right along that stem and pull that color up. So you'll notice on her picture she has a lot of little dots. Let me go ahead and zoom in on this. She has a lot of little dots here, and that kind of lets you know that that area should be darker than the other areas in the leaf around it. So that's where I'm making sure that I put this Prussian green. Now I'm going to go back in again with my 912 apple green, and I'm going to blend right into that. And I'm going to take my spring green 913, and in certain spots on this outside, I'm just going to go ahead and throw that color in there too. You can add more colors than this. I just wanted to keep it at 3 colors initially. Make this kind of beginner. So PC 109 again, Prussian green. Go right over that. Darken it up a little bit. Then as you're moving out, lighten up your hands so you're just getting a little bit of the pigment, but not as much. Blending it into that other color. So I'm holding it pretty dark or pretty heavy along that vein, and as I move out, I'm lightening it up. And again, I'm going to go in with my spring green, which is 913. And I may add more colors into the leaves as I go, but that's essentially what I'm doing. So now I'm going to come in with 935 black. And a lot of people use brown for shadows on the leaves. It's up to you how you want to do it. I want this to contrast a lot. I'm barely touching the paper. I'm just kind of going around where there would be a shadow from this leaf here. And then I'm going to come up here just a little bit and add just a little black. I don't want to overdo it, I just kind of want to highlight it a little bit. Now when you look at the leaf underneath of this leaf, you'll see there is a lot of those dots that I was talking about. I don't know how clear I can get this, guys. So you'll notice that in here there's a lot of dots. That's because this leaf here is casting a shadow onto it, and this leaf here is casting a shadow onto it. Also, you'll notice a lot of dots in this area here. That's because this leaf is casting a shadow onto that one. So keep it in mind as you continue with this that those areas are going to be darker than the entire rest of the leaf because of the shadows that's being created from these. So here I would start with the Prussian green and I would throw that in there, but that still may not be dark enough. As I continue with that leaf, I might go ahead and add some black to that area. So I'm just starting basically everywhere there was a lot of dots. And I'm not doing this very heavy-handed, I'm just lightly putting that down. I'm going to go up from there and I'm going to put my 912 apple green and then my 913 spring green. And that's basically my starting layer on that one. Oh, the vein, I forgot the vein. And I'm doing this light enough that if I change my mind and I want to make that vein dark, that I can go back at the end and do that. Again, you don't have to stick with what you're doing as long as you do things on the light side. In the area of the shadows, I might even decide to go ahead and put some 908 dark green in there to make it pop a little bit more. I'm worried that the 908 dark green though is a little on the blue side, but that's not too terrible, you know, as is a shadow. And I'm going to go ahead and try that just to see what I come up with. So this is 908 dark green. And I'm just going to go ahead and add that lightly to the shadow area. If I don't like it, I guess I can go back and, you know, add some black or the 109 Prussian green over top of that. So it's just going to make it like a little more of a cool color. I'm going to go back over here to the shadow and add that dark green. So I'm incorporating a fourth color here into the leaf. Now I'm going to use my 109 and I'm going to blend into that color and also into the apple green. Again, if you just want to use 3 colors, you can go ahead and do that. As long as you're very light-handed with the black, you could always darken it up a little bit. It's kind of hard when you use black though. If you press down, you'll not be able to lighten it back up. So kind of keep that in mind to be very light-handed when you use the black, especially Prismacolor blacks, because they're made to cover the color. So there won't be much reversing of that color. Now I'm going to go back in with the 912 apple green and again blend up from that. And then your spring green. Throw a little of that in there. And that's how I'm going to do all of the leaves on this page. I'll go ahead and leave a link in the upper corner somewhere around here for the tutorial on the skin tone in case you missed it. What color combination do you use on the leaves? Make sure you sound off in the comment box below. If you like what you see, please make sure you hit like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so you're told each and every time I post a new video. As always guys, stay safe, stay healthy, color happy, and remember, shh, it's our little secret.